agent work in AEW or maybe another company in the future?
Yeah, you know, right now, obviously I've been wrestling over 20 years now. So this is just audio or is this video?
Oh, cool.
Okay, I've been wrestling over 20 years now, and so there's something I really like about, you know, yesterday we had a match at MCW, and I really enjoy breaking down the psychology and I really like wrestling a match and then breaking it down, especially for the younger guys who maybe not understand it. So yesterday we had this big 6-man, and it was so much fun to like do the match, get the reactions, and go back and say this is what worked, this is why it didn't work, this is what we need to work on. And so if you're doing that while, you know, helping some younger talent or even while in the matches, it is something I really like. I just have a weird brain for that kind of stuff, so it's something I really enjoy is the aspect of the puzzle of putting a match together and in turn putting a show together too. So always open to do that stuff. You know, I do a lot of it, you know, with my own stuff at Ring of Honor and just all the independents and, you know, the touring I do. So it's always, yeah, I mean, if you haven't understand now, like all the different aspects that I do of wrestling with podcasts and YouTube and documentaries and comedy and wrestling and commentary, obviously I'm someone who's going to be around for a long time, and I like doing all aspects of it.
Now that we're 5 episodes into NWA Powerr, what are your thoughts so far? I mean, it's been great response.
Yeah, and NWA Powerr has been crazy response, and we just did the 2 tapings. And a lot of us, when we were doing I think going into the tapings, we were like, this will be another weird thing that we just do. And while doing the tapings for NWA Powerr, we all like felt like, hey, this is going really well. And this is really, seems to be something. And the aura of the studio and the people really coming along with us on the ride, you know, they were really into the matches, everybody from start to end. They were 4-hour days. We could tell it was something fun, so it's so cool to see that translate to everybody online. And yeah, you know, I'll do some TV stuff, and you know, I won't hear anything. And then I did the 1 week of NWA Powerr, and my timeline is just blown up. So I think that's when you know something's really catching on. So it's really cool. Yeah. Yep.
You'll be heading on to Japan soon for World Tag League.
Correct.
Outside of your team with Yano.
Well, I'm super excited to be tagging with Yano for New Japan. I think I'm more excited that the fans are gonna get that, because when we tagged at Honor Rising in Japan for Ring of Honor in Japan at Korakuen, there was something so special. And then when we wrestled each other at the New Japan Cup, the feedback, I thought I felt it in the ring. I hope Yano did too, that there was a real connection between 2 wrestlers there. And I don't think they would have put us in the tag league, but I suggested it to a couple of higher powers in New Japan, and then it was suggested to obviously Gato. And when it went to Gato, like, he was like, oh, that's a great idea. And a little bit of me was like sad, like, I mean, I don't know because I wasn't there, but a little bit was sad, like, oh, like I wish he would have been like, oh, of course we're gonna do that. But it was brought to him, it was presented to him, and he was like, yeah, of course. And so that's kind of how it came about. And so I'm so excited. I think to get my creativity going is something I really enjoy doing. So I know putting these matches together and tagging with Yano and all the comedy bits and even the non-comedy bits. And I'm hoping it's every match is a must-see match. You know, it's a 3-week tour. It's gonna be a long tour, and I just hope we do different weird stuff every night. And, you know, when I was maybe 5 years in the business, like I had this weird like, oh, maybe someone will take me to Japan and I'll become this weird star, like this American star. You know, that's how you think. And I ended up going and wrestling for Noah for 4 or 5 years, but I never became this larger than life star in Japan. You were just a part of the crew. And I wrestled for DDT and it was pretty good. And now I think this might 21 years into wrestling, this might be an opportunity where it becomes this cult thing of myself and Yano. And I think it already started, so I'm excited to see where it goes, and hopefully it goes further in the future.
You said something about your creativity. How's the general feedback being on the Unauthorized show? I thought it was great, the ROH Unauthorized show.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun from start to finish. It was great.
I've gotten a lot of fun, and I thought it was fun. But I did get some weird messages of like, what is this crap?
Oh, really?
You know, and there's always going to be negativity.
Yeah.
So I was a little, afterwards I thought it was so fun, but there is a little of like, oh man, like you don't want to let anybody down. And I do understand the idea if you know what Ring of Honor is, and it's been sold that way for so long, and then you all of a sudden you give them this different product of this weird show. And I think people who came to Ring of Honor for the first time and were sold on it, like, hey, it's like straight, great, amazing wrestling, and then Ian Riccaboni's coming off the top rope with an elbow.
Right.
You might be like, is this? But I find the idea of Ring of Honor in a whole, and then you have this one offshoot that you know I'm hosting, so you know it's going to be weird.
Right.
I had a great time. Everyone in the back. When I came to the back after that match, Gilbert just flashed me. When I came to the back after that 10-man tag where Sinclair did a leapfrog, and there was a sellout of the monitor, the place went, there was a standing ovation, and those are the moments you like as a wrestler when the other wrestlers appreciate. They call it being a wrestler's wrestler. When you have the attention of the other wrestlers and they love what's going on, then you know something's going right. So I think that was what I needed, even though there was some negativity on Twitter and stuff. But the affirmation of my colleagues, I think, was cool.
With the NWA Powerr and everything like that, how has it been, like, for the past couple of weeks, you kind of taken a little bit more of a serious role onto it?
Yeah.
How has that been, like, just being in the studio environment of that, as well as just, like, having...
I can wrestle anyway. Like, you know, like, you want me to be serious, I'll be serious. But if you leave it up to me, I will be the goofball that I am. That's the wrestling I prefer. But Billy Corrigan has a vision, and that's his vision. I respect it, and I'm in that role, and I'm going to do that role for him, and I'm going to enjoy it because I love wrestling, and so I have no problem doing that. And I enjoy it to an aspect. Like, if it's up to me, I'm doing Yano all day, you know. But I do like the other aspects, and I do like building stories. You know, years ago, a lot of people remember me for a feud I had with Homicide, where it started very silly, and then it ended up in this crazy match with the Drano, and then this crazy barbed wire match, and that was a beautiful story, and I love telling that story. So I love getting into that long form and long-term storytelling. But the way I've kind of padded out my career the last 10 years, I'm such a journeyman, and I'm so all over the place, I don't really have that opportunity to tell those long stories. So with NWA, they have it really down. They want to tell these stories, and I'm definitely along for the ride. And I look forward to maybe doing something super, super, super serious where you didn't really expect it, and you haven't seen it in a long time.
Let's do two more, guys.
With all these different avenues that you're at, NWA, Ring of Honor, all this stuff, are we still going to see you around the Indies much? Because I remember getting to interview back home in Taylor when you wrestled superstar Bill Martell for BCWA.
Yeah. I think that's what people know me as. So and I pride myself on it. And I've had all these different contract opportunities, and a lot of times I turn it down just because I know I won't be able to do the weird shows. As much as I love doing TV and the high-profile stuff, I love the Gathering of the Juggalos. I just love doing weird shows in Mexico and Canada and these Canada tours. To me, that's just as fun as doing the higher profile stuff. To me, that's wrestling. So I'm always very careful of making sure I don't put myself in a box or corner that I don't want to be in, because I want to do the other stuff. I love being on the road. I love doing the weird stuff. I love independent wrestling. It's so weird. It's so cool, man.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Cool. Last one, guys.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the reemergence of the legend Soul Train Jones?
I had a laugh just like you did. And that's what I love about All Elite Wrestling. That's what I love about the Bucks since day one, is they don't take themselves so seriously. They know, they get the joke, and they're presenting that kind of humor on TNT. And again, an unwise man once told me funny don't equal money, and I was out to prove him wrong. And maybe I didn't get to prove him wrong by getting a show on TNT, weekly, but the Young Bucks too, who also dislike this funny equals money man, they've also figured out how to do it, and obviously it's working, and I think it's so cool. So I'm all about Soul Train Jones. I'm all about those breadsticks and the meat sauce, and so we're happy to see him get another run. Glad to see he was on national television in sweatpants, killing it.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Colt.
Thanks, guys.